John and Gordy Show, broadcasting live from State Street, a block away from the Capitol, as the Capitol comes to life.
That's right.
Before our very eyes.
It's kind of cloudy and rainy this morning, John.
Yeah, it's one of those very, very wet mornings where you have to wear a raincoat or bring along an umbrella or...
Yeah.
Turn the windshield wipers on.
That's right.
Make sure the car is waterproof.
Got to do all those things before you head out this morning. You're right. You're right. You could have been a weatherman.
See, I could have, yeah. I can come up with new things all the time, right?
John Peterson, Gordy Young, we are live from the Solidarity Realty Studios here. What? You're going to what? What are you going to do?
I'm going to turn off the heat lamps above us.
Too bright in here for you? Really? John's now taking command of the lighting system and has turned the lights back down to the way we like them, nice and low, right? Because that's the way you like it.
Now, can anybody see us on Facebook?
I don't know. They can see us.
Again, we encourage everyone to tune into Facebook on your phones, mount it on the dash, and connect your phone to the Bluetooth speaker in your car, and then just enjoy, and when you're at a light, the many lights that we have, you can just relax, sit back, somebody will tell you that the light has turned green, and then you could just, move along.
So you're all into distracted driving. Just turn on all the media in your car, put your laptop open, and watch the show while they're trying to drive?
Absolutely. Yes. Uh-huh.
I don't think that's...
Just your phone. All you have to do is tune into Facebook on your phone and stream it into your car radio, and then that's it. It's very simple. Hardly any movement is required for that.
Can you do that with YouTube too? In your car?
Yeah, I suppose. Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
What
Sam
is today?
Says so.
Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Hump day.
Kidding.
Happy hump day.
What the hell happened?
Well, Tuesday was yesterday. Today's
that's
Wednesday.
That's why Tuesday was yesterday. So obviously today's going to be Wednesday. So
I don't know why I have to explain that to you.
Every morning you explain it to me.
Okay.
And every morning is Wednesday to you.
Sure it is. So yesterday, the election happened. All these states,
all across the country.
Yeah,
the election took place.
Did anybody think was any voting done in Wisconsin? Was there anything on the ballot this time around for anything significant? Maybe some smaller
that's a really
town
good
stuff?
Question. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't think so.
That's why I asked.
But in the other states, the Democrats and abortion won everywhere.
Abortion rights.
So,
yeah.
I mean, what can you say except that maybe there's one party that is a little bit out of step with the 21st century. Okay.
Perhaps. Yeah.
Just saying, as I always say.
Well, and today, Ivanka goes on the stand. She's not actually a part of the trial. She's a witness, but she opted out. She was able to. She's not charged with anything.
Right.
She's not involved with anything. But she has a lot of information that she.
You think?
Well, she's going to be on the stand today.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
But I don't believe the former president is going to be in the courtroom
because
today.
The Sons did so well. Ivanka should do well too.
Can you imagine being Ivanka and you've got these two knuckleheaded brothers that are running the show over there, and she's, she opted out. Mm-hmm. She became, she was in the White House helping out the president.
Right. Doing the dishes, washing and drying the clothes.
Dusting. There's a lot of dusting to be done in the White House.
Where a woman should be, at home in the White House.
And then her husband, Jared, he's out there being an ambassador.
Saudi Arabia,
unofficial.
Raking in the bucks, $2 billion.
Something like, what happened to that $2 billion that they gave Jared?
That is not of interest. We got to look at the hundreds of millions of dollars by Hunter Biden first. And maybe we'll remember that Jared collected a little money afterwards.
Well, I'd like to know what happened to that money. I mean, they gave it to him, and what did he just put it in a Swiss bank account and said that's ours? Forget
Pretty
it.
much
We're just-
because he hasn't really done any work for it.
Okay.
But isn't that the same complaint they're giving to Hunter Biden for not knowing anything but still getting paid? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Double standard? You be the judge.
And then tonight,
You've got the freedom to think in this country, and we're pushing that.
Tonight is the Republican debate in Miami. It's down to 5 candidates now.
Yes.
John, can you name the 5 candidates? Just give it a shot.
Nope, I cannot name them.
You can't name one of them?
They're inconsequential. No one cares. It doesn't matter.
Well,
Trump is the candidate.
Yeah.
They can kind of swim around in a little pool of sharks and then, take a snap at each other. But this is just, it's mindless drivel.
You think so?
It's the same talking points over and over again.
Okay. Well, Ron DeSantis will be there.
Oh, you've got the list. Okay, good.
I've got the list in my head right now.
All right.
That's one.
Yeah.
Nikki Haley will be there. That's 2.
One of the dumbest people in the world. Go ahead.
I don't know about that. I'm not sure.
She's not smart.
She was UN ambassador.
I remember all the
UN
things she said as a
representative.
governor.
Okay. Well, you're lining up with Trump because he calls her a bird brain.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
We agree on something.
Really?
Yes.
Chris Christie will be there. That's number 3.
He's good.
Vivek Ramaswamy will be there. He's running for vice president. That's what
such a con man.
He knows.
Just a con
He's
man.
a fast-talking guy. That's your impression of him. I think he's very smart, but he takes 2 sides of an issue every time he says something. He's on one side, then the other. He flip-flops a lot, it seems to me. It's just a word salad. He just throws it all out there.
Yes.
And then you decide, what did he just say? And most people don't know. What did he just say?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what he said.
And when you have somebody who presents word salads constantly, that means they really don't have a grip.
Yeah.
And they're really not as smart. So
who am I leaving out? Okay, we've got, let's back up. Nikki Haley, Chris Christie, Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yep.
DeSantis, and I'm leaving somebody out. Let's see, who am I leaving out?
I can't remember.
Oh boy,
I don't know.
All right,
Are you
hang on
sure?
a second.
Is there somebody else?
Tim Scott. Right?
Oh yeah,
he's
Tim
still
Scott.
in it.
Yep.
He's also running for vice president. Really, it's between him and Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yes.
That's why they're there. They just want to, hang on through the debate, defend Trump, and hopefully they'll get selected as his vice president.
And so how many does that make?
That's
6?
5 that are in.
5. Okay.
5 that are in.
One
this
short
debate.
of a 6-pack.
So that's on tonight on NBC for 2 hours, beginning at 7 o'clock our time. Yeah. So tune in for
You'll
that.
find me right in front of the TV for that one, watching something else.
Here's the thing. Nikki Haley is on the rise. She's getting more votes now, or more impressions. She's on the rise in the polls.
As much as I say that she's not very smart, she has had very good responses during the debates.
She's really good in the debates, and she's brought DeSantis way down in the polls. So she's going up, he's going down. By the way, there's a whole thing about Ron DeSantis's boots. If you've been paying any attention,
risers.
Yes, he's wearing high heels.
Oh, gorgeous!
And Nikki Haley had something to say about that.
And the boots hide all that stuff, so that's why he's wearing those damn boots.
Yeah, he wants to stand tall.
One of the things that I just want to bring up quick here is my son went and got his COVID vaccine booster.
Did he?
Last night.
Good. Is he okay?
Arm hurts badly. He is as bad as I am when it comes to medical conditions. So anyway, but he got it. And I just wanted to mention then here that Ron DeSantis doesn't believe in those boosters.
The vaccines?
Yeah. And
anti-vax.
And of course, there are a lot of people coming down with COVID in Florida. It's one of the big issues that is never brought up in the news constantly.
Yeah.
And I said, brought up in the news constantly, not once, not twice, but all the time, because it's impactful on the population of Florida. There's a lot of seniors down there. These people should get the vaccine.
They should.
and it should be an issue in the campaign as well, right?
Sure.
Okay.
But it's kind of gone to the back seat.
It
Nobody-
has.
You know,
It has.
It's not.
People dying and being hospitalized for COVID, not really a big issue. We got better fish to fry, Walt Disney. We got to fight them,
Yeah. So that's in Florida, though. You're
And-
saying
but
that's
it-
mainly a big
But
deal
in
there.
Florida, people can't afford their homeowners insurance because it's increased 7 or 8 times because of the hurricanes. And, Ron, of course, is not doing anything about that because he's got bigger fish to fry. He's going to be a president.
Does he like fried fish? Is that what are you saying? He,
They love seafood
likes-
down there.
that's your impression of Florida. When was the last time you were in Florida? It's been many years for me.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of interesting on that. I actually went to the opening of Walt Disney World.
Did you really?
I did.
That was
I
a long time
I-
ago.
I think I was working at another station in the area.
Yeah. Which one?
A lot
I'll
of
just
them.
pick one.
Yes,
Yeah.
just pick one. But they had an invite for their morning people.
Sure.
And I went down there, and this is the sad story, though.
Oh,
you
no.
think,
Really?
these morning disc jockeys, they've got the world at their. It's not true. I was alone. I couldn't
Oh.
find anybody to go to Walt Disney World with me.
That's sad.
I was just shuffling around there alone.
This was before you were married and had kids.
Yeah,
right? So it was
yeah.
just you.
Yeah, I couldn't find anybody.
Wow. That's sad, John.
I wore
really-
a sandwich board on State Street. Nothing.
Tried to get somebody to go with you? Really? You
Yeah.
were like just walking up to people. You want to go to Disney World? What?
Yeah, free.
What's Disney
you
World?
know?
So it was brand new at the time, huh?
Yeah, it was brand new. It was
All
open
right.
for like a year, but then they
Okay.
thought, well, we don't have enough people here yet. Let's bring the freebie people down. We won't do anything unless we give it to them, and that would be morning announcers.
Okay.
So we took advantage of that.
That's such a sad story, John. Thank you for bringing us all down.
Loneliness, a lot of loneliness.
Guess what? It's 18 minutes past the hour. We're going to take a real quick break, but we'll come right back right after this.
On Mad Radio, WMDX. WMDX, Mad Radio, 92.7. The number to call, 608-879-8255, 879-TALK. You can text us. You can join us on Facebook, make comments there. On YouTube, make comments there. Or just give us a call.
Right.
Yeah, the thing is, we get a lot of calls here because this is a new number. It's a different show. It's not statewide like the Devils and everybody else. We're just sitting
Not
here and we're, really, really begging you to give us a call.
We're Madison based. It's a Madison show. That's why
It is.
we're
Not-
local.
We're not begging.
Yeah.
unless you want us to stop talking and let every other person who wants to call in talk.
Oh,
that would be perfect.
Okay. It's the John and Gordy show, as we were saying. John Peterson, Gordy Young, and you, dear listener.
We have a new element to the show.
Do we?
We do.
Is now the time to bring in the new element, do you think?
I think so.
What are you talking about, John? I don't know what you're saying.
Well,
that thing off.
There are a few things, when we're talking about a topic, you know, we're always wondering, well, what's the next topic going to be?
Right.
And we have solved that problem.
Yeah, even though we do a lot of pre-planning all day long for tomorrow's show,
exactly.
we make an outline, we make a little rundown of what's going to happen during the next show.
Right.
We spend hours and hours talking back and forth. We call each other.
We do.
Too much. Late at night.
Too much.
Late at night.
Way too much.
What are the topics for tomorrow's show, John? Yeah, it's back and forth.
I don't know.
Text each other. But we've got this new thing we want to bring in. All right.
This is going to change the entire show, and here it is. Okay. Got it? Okay. No, this is perfect. Okay, right there.
Right there?
Right there. I think that'll work. Right there.
I think so.
It is in the old days, in the movie theaters, there used to be newsreels, right?
Newsreels.
This is the news wheel. A little play on that.
Now, you can't really see what's on, though. You can't really see what's on the news wheel from the camera.
That's all right. We'll be making that stuff up. So it's a prop, and it's a sound effect. Can we hear this? Sam, tell us whether you can hear this.
Should I give it a spin?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Is that audible? Okay.
Yeah, you can kind of hear it.
Terrific. That is the news wheel.
And, for example, it landed on the topic of climate change and science.
Beautiful.
So if we have
if we had a story like that, we would
go into that.
Go right into it.
Because we talk about politics a lot. We covered that. Every day we hit that. But we don't like to always just talk about politics. We like to talk about other things going on in the world. So this gives us the idea of some other things that we can talk about. Because there's always stories about all of these topics. Yep. It's just that,
If we didn't have a wheel to get us to those topics.
Now we do.
Boy, that's really important.
It's become this show is becoming more like our old media world show.
The cable access
more like
show.
A cable access show than a radio show now.
And
bring the wheel out.
That's what I'm thinking. So.
Okay. Well, there it is.
And that's why we're going to do a lot of video effects just for the fun of it. All right. Okay.
Well, do we have any climate change stories at our command? Do you?
No.
Not really.
Nope.
But I have something that's related to climate change, I think, a story out of Arizona.
All right.
Because, with climate change comes the animal world, the animal kingdom changes.
Right.
Right?
Right.
They're reacting to climate change in Arizona. Here's something I never heard of this animal before. It's called a javelina. Javelina. It almost sounds like a car model. The new Javelina by Ford.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah, new EV.
Yeah.
The Javelina.
Growling, clacking teeth, the rumble of hooves as night falls at one of the United States' most scenic golf clubs. Sinister noises reverberate off the Red Rock Canyon walls. Boy, sounds like a novel.
I know.
Doesn't it?
Somebody wants to be a writer.
And when the Arizona sunshine breaks over the 7 canyons in the morning, the destruction is revealed. Destruction? What are they talking about?
Yeah, what's happening?
Sprawling mounds of ravaged turf blot the 7,000-yard course, a golf course, like open wounds, soil and grass strewn in all directions, otherwise pristine fairways. The perpetrators? Javelina, a pig-like creature with raking canine teeth whose capacity for chaos in the town of Sedona has seen them becoming a viral sensation. It's like the Tasmanian Devils, the 7 Canyons golf manager said.
Wow.
When you come upon them, they're grunting, they're fighting. They're rather small creatures, but they do a lot of damage. And what are they doing? They're like rototilling the turf with their teeth, their canine-like teeth. And what are they doing this for? Well, they're looking for earthworms. That's what they're. Yeah, they're groveling and they're
Wow.
growling and
They
they're
have
crunching the earth.
earthworms down there.
They in Arizona.
Wow.
Yeah, they're about 40 to 60 pounds. These pig-like creatures, the javelina, and they're going crazy. The Arizona State Department of Game and Fish are involved. They don't know. Everybody's running around with their tearing out their hair. Their pants are on fire. They can't. It's a golf course, a beautiful golf course, and these pig-like javelina creatures are tearing it up, and they don't know what to do about it.
I know what they can do.
What?
They can get an AR-15
No, geez.
and just riddle the place with bullets.
That's disturbing that you would come up with that.
But that's why they buy those weapons, right? I mean, I hear that all the time in the interviews. They use it for hunting. You know?
Oh, sure.
Squirrels, raccoons.
That's what you need. You need an assault weapon. Yeah, that's what they're going to do at the golf course.
This kind of reminds me a little bit of the wild boars. Remember in the old days?
Sure.
Wild boars were a big problem, and they were rabid. And remember Old Yeller?
Old Yeller. That's a Disney movie.
Yeah.
It's a sad movie
and the dog
in the end.
became rabid because of a wild boar.
So it's very sad.
Not a good ending.
Arizona. What's with Arizona anyway? Arizona has kind of become the Florida of the Southwest.
Yeah.
Every crazy story in the world comes out of Arizona in that part of the nation.
It's
just one thing after another. It's the heat. It's climate change, I tell you. That's what's involved with these wild javelina pigs running around there just tearing things up. And they don't know what to do about it. They can't do anything about it. Chase them away. I don't know. Why would they head for the golf course? I guess that's where the earthworms are left to live.
It gives golfers a few extra holes to. Well, I thought it was putting into the correct one.
It's not like that.
Is that what they call them, holes, or what do they call? What do they call them? Out on the golf course.
On the golf course.
Is that what they call them,
it's
holes?
the hole. It's the cup.
The cup. That's it.
And the green. Yeah. The green you tee off. When was the last time you went golfing?
Long time
golf
ago.
courses are kind of suffering nationwide. There's not a lot of new golfers coming into the sport. It's expensive. It's time consuming. People want action.
It is so boring. It is so boring.
And it's hard to get good at golf unless you do a lot of it.
I really tried. I tried to get into it because there's so many guys getting into the golf thing. And I knew this salesman, and he loved golf. And he was really a nice guy. Yeah. So he said, can you come along on a golf outing one of these times? I said, oh, sure. So I went out and I got extra long golf clubs because I'm taller. And I went out once, and that was it. And I got bored. He moved to Chicago, and that was my time in golf.
That's great. News, weather, sports. Thanks for sharing. We'll be right back.
Open up the gun.
John and Gordy.
Yeah.
Oh, John and Gordy. John and Gordy. Oh, John and Gordy.
Welcome back to the John and Gordy Show for a Wednesday morning. It's cloudy, it's rainy, it's drizzly, it's wet out there, and 45 degrees. Highs today in the upper 40s later.
Kind of typical fall-like weather out there right now.
It is.
A big headline in the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel: Trump pressures Assembly Speaker Robin Vos to impeach elections chief Megan Wolf. There you go.
Is that really the
Kinda
story?
A little bit of micromanaging there. You know, the guy is busy campaigning for president. Then he calls up and hey, can you just fire this Megan Wolf person?
He still thinks
for the
he's
election?
president, John. He still thinks he's president.
No, he's the
in
president.
His mind.
Oh,
in his
man.
mind.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He is.
He's still
he
the
is
president.
the president.
That's the deal.
So,
yeah.
And we got a call.
Do we?
We do.
Okay.
All right, let's take. Well, this is the second call that we've ever gotten, right? And we're
Don't
8
keep
weeks
track.
into this.
That's not right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Joe is on the line. Good morning, Joe. Hello.
Hi, you guys. Great to hear your show. And I'll definitely be tuning in. I like it. It's fun. It's bouncing around, lots of different topics. Enjoy it very much. I'm going to take you away from Trump and Megan Wolf and go back to your discussion of golf in the last segment. We were talking about it wasn't something that necessarily made you run in and want to play, and the numbers are dropping.
Right. Right.
Yeah, okay. So I had a brother who loved to play golf, but he was also very big with Frisbee golf. And I thought, well, geez, I wonder what the numbers are with Frisbee golf. And so, of course, I can't help myself. I have to go online and check it out. And here we have a little discussion about the fast facts of Frisbee golf.
Tell us.
Man, this thing is growing like crazy. Yeah, it's growing like crazy.
Really?
70% of all disc courses have been built in the last 10 years. Over 80 countries worldwide have disc golf courses. But this is the one that I just thought somebody dug for these statistics, and they are just charmingly wonderful. They said every day on average, 5.28 new disc golf courses are open for play. That's one new golf course every 4.5 hours. And get ready, one new hole every 30 minutes or less.
Wow. That's amazing. In the U.S. or worldwide, does it say?
Worldwide, I think they're
Well,
talking about, because they said they've got these courses in 80 countries. And then, of course, they offer you a lovely world map with colored in are the places where you can play disc golf.
You said one new hole every minute?
Wow.
No, it was every 30 minutes or less.
Oh, my God.
30 minutes
so
or less.
Maybe it begs the question, what is disc golf, Frisbee golf?
What is it?
Yeah, I mean, how do you do it? What do you throw a disc into a hole? Is that it?
No, haven't you ever seen a disc golf course before?
No.
Are you kidding me?
No, I have never seen that
Joe,
either.
Joe, explain to John what it is.
I wish I could, but I've never played it. I've just heard my brother talking about loving to play it. So
okay, I bet
maybe
Sam
some of
knows.
the other viewers.
Yeah,
somebody will call in.
I've played disc golf before.
Yeah, so have I. Okay, you have these special discs. They're Frisbee-like.
They're Frisbees, but they're like smaller and denser.
Yes, they're heavier and denser, and they fly better.
Right.
But and the golf course is set up similar to a regular golf course, but instead of a hole, there's a cage-like device. There's sort of a cage. How would you describe
It's like
this?
a basket.
Yes,
and then above the basket, there's like some chains hanging down. So if you like hit the chain, it'll fall into the basket. So if you're close enough to the hole, then you'll get in.
Yeah. And you score it the same way you score regular golf. It's how many tosses to the to get to
tossing
the cage.
accuracy is what it
what
and
really
grades you on.
It's fun. It's a little bit more active than golf. It goes a little bit faster than regular golf.
Sure. Are there any injuries? Because I'm sure those discs are pretty solid. Right?
Injuries. You could throw a rotator cuff. Yeah.
All right. Well, Joe, you said you have so many weird statistics on that. Is there anything else we missed there?
Oh boy, you could really bore people. I mean, we don't want to do that during drive.
We do
time.
that.
That would not be a good thing.
We got plenty of time. Go ahead.
I thought we did that normally. So.
What intrigues me about this, though, it sounds like it's just a lot more accessible than golf is.
Yes.
Because golf is rather expensive.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about the maintenance of the ground, that's a huge thing. And I think I think it's something that people respond to with golf. They respond to these manicured, carefully manicured environment.
Right.
And maybe frisbee golf is just a little bit more haywire and
Yes.
random or something, and that appeals to people. Or maybe it's just the price and the fact that it's just more accessible. I'm thinking about it in terms of the boom that they have with pickleball as compared to tennis. I mean,
Right.
tennis is still
Mhm.
obviously very hot, but pickleball is insane. The
It
number of
is.
people who
Yes.
they cannot stay away from pickleball, and I think that's maybe a little bit more accessible too. I have not played pickleball. Maybe someone could call in and
Do you
describe
like?
why they love it so
do you
much.
have?
I-
Do you
I
have
have-
your sights set on pickleball?
I want to play pickleball,
Okay,
but
I
I have
knew
not done it yet. But
Okay.
I like racket sports. I liked playing
does.
tennis. I love
you
ping
had a
pong.
ping pong table in your basement.
I used to. I don't have that anymore. But yeah, I love ping
was a
pong.
lot of fun, yeah.
Love ping pong. Do you play?
I think you guys need a scouting trip. You need a scouting trip for
Yeah.
the two of you to go off and play pickleball, and a scouting trip to do some frisbee golf,
It's a
or
great
maybe
idea.
you can get some commentators who could be calling in to just
I'm
let
for
let
that.
you know the updates.
No, it's a
I'm
fu-
with you on
Well,
that, Joe. Thanks. Okay.
All right, you bet. Thanks a lot.
Well, no,
Well,
you have
hey.
something else to say?
Oh no, I just wanted to just drop that in. And you were talking yesterday, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I wasn't able to catch it all. I had pets that were doing some things that had to be attended to. You let the mind ramble to imagine what that is. But you were describing the problem with high rises, and
Yeah.
you were talking about some films that mentioned windows that were open, and I wasn't sure if you ever got onto one of the all-time greats, which is Rear Window.
Rear
right?
Window.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
Rear
the
Window.
Alfred Hitchcock
Exactly.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the
Uh-huh,
spin-offs from it, all the
yeah.
recent movies that did the exact same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Exactly. Yeah. A window isn't. They'll talk about movies that have great chase scenes, but that is a movie with great window dynamics. I think. Really
Absolutely.
great window dynamics.
It
Oh,
really-
Jimmy
it
Stewart.
really does.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it's terrific. And
Great.
he's-
Well, I like your show, and I wish you every success. And I'll just keep my ear to the dial. And well, I guess I
All right.
it's not the dial; it's the speaker. And
It's okay.
take care, guys.
feel
and,
free to call
we'll
us
get
all the
updates
time.
Thank you, Joe.
All right,
Where
Joe.
are you calling from, by the way?
Yeah.
Where are you calling from?
on Madison.
All
right.
Madison. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you very
Thank you,
much,
Joe.
Joe.
Take
Okay.
care.
Yeah, the wonders of frisbee golf. I'm amazed that you've never seen a frisbee golf. They
No.
they have a bunch in Madison here. I mean, they're
Well,
kind of scattered
I've
here
got
and there.
I've got two sons locked in the basement, gaming all the time. So
But they
I
know.
really never hear about any other sports.
I bet they have done frisbee golf, and they just didn't tell you about it.
No.
It's fun. It's more
No, they
active. You
haven't.
can run. You throw the frisbee.
Is that it? You run from
Well,
one
you don't-
basket to
you
the
don't-
next?
You don't have to, but it's more of
As
an
fast
active
as,
sport.
the faster you go,
It's a little bit more physical. You can play against somebody else.
the quicker
or
the
have
game is
three
if
or
you
four.
just run from one basket to
Yeah.
the next.
Right.
Then the game is over.
Sam has played frisbee golf, right?
I have, yeah.
You-
Mostly, well, I was a Boy Scout, so mostly it was with Boy Scouts because there was a course in my town like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
number of years ago before it really became popular, which is kind of cool. But
Yeah.
You were
That's
a
fun.
Boy Scout.
Fun times. What?
I did not
I was
know
a Boy
that.
Scout too.
I did not know that.
How,
Oh, yeah?
how high in the Boy Scout
Yeah.
rankings did you go?
well, you see, it's kind of funny. All of the producers here at least at the Madison headquarters of Civic Media are all Eagle Scouts.
No.
Are they really? That's
Yeah.
really hard to
That
believe.
is.
I mean, that's a really high. That's as high as it goes. I think,
Mhm.
isn't it? Yeah.
That's amazing.
You went Eagle
Mhm.
Scout.
Scout.
Yeah.
That is
And you were a
tremendous.
scout too?
I barely made it out of the tender. I was like in second class. I forget. I was on the verge of
Yeah.
getting the second class rating or whatever it goes.
Mm.
And then we moved to Indianapolis. And I didn't.
And there was just
Do
too
Boy
much
Scouts
discipline involved in something like that. I mean, it's like, the military. That's why
Well, you get the-
I never
get the
gravitated to the
uniforms.
scouts.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah.
Truly.
It's a good organization. Don't put down the Boy Scouts.
I went to the YMCA, very undisciplined.
It's nothing
and
like the
lots
Boy
of fun.
Scouts.
I know it isn't.
You get to go camping.
reason
You
for
get
that.
on. You hike a lot.
That's what you get at the YMCA.
You get the badges.
Yeah.
You get plenty of badges to
Wow, that's
whittling.
really nice.
What were some of
wish
the
I had more.
badges?
I had Monster cards and Three Stooges cards.
Yeah, that
I didn't
explains
have
a
the
lot.
badges.
Don't need no stinking badges.
No.
No. Mhm.
So
Okay. Well, we thank Joe for calling in.
Yeah.
If you'd like to call, 608-879-8255. I bet there are other disc golfers out there going, what? Are you guys living under a rock? It's been going on for quite a long time, disc golf. Yeah, but regular golf is kind of on the wane. It's kind of going, down in
Well,
popularity.
thank goodness it's not been politicized. Pickleball.
Pickleball looks like a lot of fun. I want to try that.
Well, so many people are getting injured doing
No, they're
pickleball, and
not.
I thought, well, that's one sport I'm steering clear of.
Not injured. What do you? It's not that strenuous.
It must be.
It's faster than tennis. You don't have to run around as much, but it's more active, like ping pong. I mean, it's kind of
It's a bigger court, right?
than what?
Ping pong.
Yes. Jeez. You play
Smaller
outside,
than tennis, right?
huh?
Or you can use a tennis court if you want for pickleball.
No.
Why do they call it pickle? What's the pickle part?
Okay, well, let's fire up the Google machine and we'll find out the history of pickleball.
Oh yeah,
It's
Oh,
very
forgot
very
that.
big in the retirement communities, but it's an active game. It's not you do work up a sweat. It's fast paced.
Wow.
You have to really be good.
Just
at
like
it.
this program.
I think you use a specialized racket. That's what I don't know. I got to go to one of these pickleball places and check it out.
Well, we'll check
should-
it out during the next break.
Okay, if you say so. What's the weather today? It's going to be cloudy and rainy, 45 degrees. I feel like we need maybe a coffee break here. Do you feel?
Yeah, I feel like we need that now.
You think so?
Yes.
Coffee?
Fellas, don't drink that coffee.
What?
It is the caffeine.
The sugar level, the caffeine level,
Yeah.
all conspires to make things a little squirrely.
I don't think there can ever be enough, too much caffeine.
Caffeine is just a sort of a general phenomenon that should be, spread and promulgated as many directions as possible.
You'd never guess there was a fish in the percolator.
Oh.
I love that line.
I mean, when I first heard that on Twin Peaks, I thought you'd have to notice the fish taste in the coffee. It would be very pronounced, and everybody would notice it. But instead, the guy had to tell them that there was a fish in the percolator. So,
John, I think it's time to spin the news wheel again to figure out what our...
terrific.
Okay.
Okay, we moved it closer.
For those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube, you can see this wheel behind us. Have a number of news topics, because we hit a lot of news topics anyway. But let's spin the wheel, John.
All right,
Let's
here
see
we go. I'm going to try my
see
luck
what
at
we
this.
can delve into after we get through our next time out here. We spun it twice. What's the matter? Why are you doing that?
I just want to hear it.
Yeah? Okay. Tech and internet. Technology and internet is the topic. Okay, so we'll do a little research as we think about tech and internet topic. You have anything that comes to mind with that immediately, right off the top?
Actually,
Anything Elon Musk has said or done in the last 24 hours that we should know about?
no.
Okay.
No.
right.
No technology stuff today.
What are the boys in the basement doing? Your sons, what are they up to tech-wise, internet-wise? I know they're into gaming. They create games, right? They build games.
One son creates board games, role-playing games.
Board
and,
games.
And the other one wants to do voice talent.
Okay. Well, let's get them in here.
Character talent.
Okay.
So,
You're talking about old-fashioned board games, like
Yes.
analog board games?
like Dungeons and Dragons
Okay.
role-playing
He's
stuff.
into that.
Yeah. He's creating his own stuff with his friends, with a group of friends.
I
So,
like the old board games, the Monopoly. I like Scrabble. I was playing Scrabble with a friend of mine not too long ago, and they had a fancy, brand new Scrabble game with a turntable that turned. And I lost.
Wow.
Usually I do really well with Scrabble, and I figured out later why I lost, because I'm pretty good with Scrabble.
Yeah.
But I play old
You
Scrabble.
figured out.
But old-fashioned Scrabble, you have to sit sort of next to each other in order to see the board.
Yeah.
But with the turntable, you're spinning this thing back and forth across from each other. So you're really not paying attention to the other person's
Right.
strategy or what words. And I think that's why I lost
A
horribly.
distraction.
I was distracted by the turn wheel.
Here we are, getting distracted again.
6:49, back with more of the John and Gordy Show in just a couple of minutes.
talking about the news wheel, and
That's our new addition to the John and Gordy show.
It's kind of hard to see some of the topics on here, so we're trying to figure out a way to highlight them a little bit more. And you mentioned sticky notes, but wouldn't that be like putting cards on the wheel of a bicycle?
It could be. They could be flying around and then fly off
a little bit. So I don't know if that'll work.
Well, actually, when we spun the news wheel a few minutes ago, first, let's back up to the, it landed on internet and technology, and I do have a story about that from Wisconsin, in fact, from Door County. But before that, we were talking about, I was pronouncing it javelinas. Remember we were talking about the pigs, these wild pig-like creatures that have attacked this golf course.
By the name of javelinas, but it's
really javelinas or javelinas.
There you go.
So somebody corrected us. Thank you for that correction. They're running wild in Arizona at a golf course, which led us to the golf course discussion about disc golf.
More of a Spanish pronunciation.
Javelinas or javelinas. Yep. Yeah, like jalapenos. Yeah.
But you have a major tech story. We talked about it before we went on the air.
Do we have a tech story? Yeah.
And it's gigantic.
And that's what our wheel tells us to talk about.
And it is political as well.
Yeah.
As you'll find out.
You've been to Door County. I've been to Door County. Just about everybody in Wisconsin.
Right. Washington Island up there.
Oh, yeah. Washington Island is what this story is about, John. There are how many residents do you think live on Washington Island?
I'm thinking 34.
No. 700 year-round residents live on Washington Island.
I was wrong.
It's about 4.5 miles off the northern tip of Door County. It's one of the most remote places in Wisconsin.
These people want to be alone.
They do. They can only get there by ferry. Accessible by ferry only. It's a 35 square mile island. It has the slowest internet speeds anywhere in Wisconsin. Sometimes no internet service at all. But that's changing now due to a $7 million multi-year project to bring new fiber optic cable networks to every home and business on the island.
Thank you, Governor Evers.
Finally. It's part of a push happening across Wisconsin to connect those in sparsely populated areas with high-speed internet. Now, this also includes, this is part of a $28 million project statewide to connect thousands of rural residents and farmers in Richland County, Iowa County, Juneau County, Sauk County, even Dane County. There are some areas in Dane County that don't have internet access or not very good internet access. So anyway, they're doing this up in Washington County, off of or Washington Island. Is that what I said?
Yeah, Washington Island.
Off of Door County.
Yep.
Now, when that project's over, the island will have some of the fastest speeds in Door County.
Thank you again, Governor Evers.
Okay, now here's
Joe Biden.
Here we go now. Here's where it gets crazy. Here's where it gets crazy. The Wisconsin Public Service Commission has been all over this since 2013. For 10 years, they've been working on expanding broadband service
to rural areas that are voting Republican.
But it could
just keep that in mind.
Yeah. It could be several more years before their work is done, and a recent FCC report revealed about 22% of rural residents in Wisconsin are still living without adequate internet service. It's
outrageous. And even those with internet service have slow internet because the more people that are online, it slows down their connection.
Now, here's the deal. Even though the state last year received a $1 billion grant, $1 billion the state of Wisconsin got through the Federal Broadband Equity Access Deployment Program.
Thank you, President Biden.
The Wisconsin Public Service Commission chair, Rebecca Valke, I believe that is, Valk, said that after the Republican state lawmakers denied $750 million in a proposal from Governor Evers to expand broadband.
In the budget.
Yeah, and this was $1 billion that the federal government gave. But yeah, he put in $750 million, and the Republicans say it's several more years before they're going to let that. They denied it. They denied his $750 million grant that we got from the federal government. They said, no, we're not going to do that.
It's too quick. You know, they don't want to give high-speed internet, fiber optic out to the rural communities and
No.
the farmers to market their products. People in the small towns with their shops,
Isn't
the
there something-
professions that they have out there, they want to get on the internet, sell their product as well.
Right.
But no, they're going to slow it down because, you know, this is too fast. Well, this internet thing, you know, we're not sure it's working yet. So
They've been working on it for 10 years to expand this broadband access to rural areas, and now
yet-
the Republicans want to slow it down and
yet
stop
the
it in
Republicans
its
get
tracks.
their vote,
Yeah.
and then they probably take credit for having fiber optic out to these communities eventually when they do get it. This is something we want to fully wire up Wisconsin like the electricity had been done many decades ago.
I was nodding my
How'd
head
you
in
lose
agreement.
that?
My headphones fell off.
They just
I hear
snapped
you.
off your brain.
It's just like that. It's
Yeah.
just like when the rural counties
Electrification.
didn't have electricity. And then, you know, well,
The
we gotta-
government stepped in. The
Yes.
evil government, when they get involved, you know, you really don't want them involved.
Well.
So they electrified the entire country, and guess what happened? Everybody kind of, you know,
hey,
had
this
lights.
electricity's kind of cool.
Yeah.
We kind of like this. Let's get some more. Okay. Yeah, and they did. But
And-
now with the internet,
and
no,
as you
boy,
remember,
it's evil.
Scott Walker turned down what was it, $35 million or something, $25 million
Something like that.
to wire up the rural areas.
Mm-hmm.
They turned it down because you know why? Because there's strings attached to the federal government's contributions to this.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
They don't want to be on the hook for that, all those strings. What? People getting connected?
Yeah.
You know, starting their own
Oh, they're-
businesses,
they're
making
gonna-
an income from home.
Yeah, they're going to tear up the land. They're going to put a few poles here and there. We're gonna
Just
put the-
ridiculous. But
yeah.
if you drive through the country, you can see all of the Ethernet wires being put in. This is really, really encouraging.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
So, and we support the farmers more than anything. You know, if anybody deserves tax credits and all that, it's the farm community.
Yes.
And all the communities that are out there supporting them. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So, all right. Well, I'm glad we
Well,
covered that internet and technology.
And, you know, I
subject
got
again.
interested in the farm community because I baled hay on the farm.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh, do tell.
And-
Well, actually, you'll have
I
to
did.
save that story because
really?
we're up against the top of the hour.
Oh,
and we've
no,
got-
it's such a heartwarming story.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you like baling hay?
I loved
good
it.
at
It
it?
was fun, you know, for a
Yeah.
city kid. We
That's great.
Up in the hayloft, drinking
Wonderful.
Sundrop soda, and it was just like
Okay.
the best thing in the world. It really was.
We'll hear more of John's farm stories coming up after we get through the news,
Is that on
weather,
the
and
wheel here?
sports. I don't know. We're coming back. Don't go anywhere. All right.
John and Gordy in the morning. As we were saying, let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.
minutes past the hour. The John and Gordy Show rolls on for this Wednesday morning. Cloudy, rainy today. Highs in the upper 40s. Right now, 45 here. John.
Beautiful. It's a wonderful, wonderful rainy day today. Typical fall day. This kind of, gives a little weight to the leaves out there in the lawn. It's sometimes easier to rake leaves while they're wet and damp.
Really?
Instead of flying all over the place.
Well, you
right?
got a good point there, sure.
Yeah.
But then they get soggy, and then they clog up the drains, and then you get a little flooding going on. Yeah, you got to rake them up while you can.
Let's get rid of those trees. Is that what you're saying?
That's the solution? No,
Okay.
no, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. Hey, you can go behind the scenes, watch the John and Gordy Show on Facebook or on YouTube. We're live right now on those Facebook and YouTube channels. Right. You can like us. You can follow us. You just push the buttons. You're right there. Or you can subscribe on YouTube. It's all free.
I think that's the way it's going nowadays because, a lot of people, they took down the antennas that they had fastened to the top of their homes.
Yeah, years ago that happened.
Because, we needed those antennas to get TV.
Over-the-air TV.
Yeah, remember you had to, set the dial on the inside of the home on top of your TV, and the antenna would swivel at the top of your house, and it would aim in the direction of the towers and stuff like that.
If you had that system installed, but usually, though, if you didn't, you'd have Dad up there, how's it look now? How's it look now? He's risking his life going up there and twisting the antenna
and you
around.
Installed, antennas for radio. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people have kind of transitioned away from trying to receive radio stations. And that's why I call it terrestrial.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing right now. We're on a terrestrial type of radio station.
92.7.
The cool thing
FM
is
radio.
that it's not just that anymore.
No.
It's all over the media.
That's right. Yeah. You're right.
And video is capturing us here, just like it did for our cable access show, and it's terrific. I'm getting used to this. I didn't like the idea of video.
Now you like it.
Takes me a while.
You like having the camera right here, and people can watch what we're doing behind the scenes, and they're saying, "What's that thing in back of you? What's that all about?"
And it's the news wheel, instead of news reel.
Right. We got a new news wheel.
It's like Twitter, right? X, formerly known as Twitter. So
everybody still calls it Twitter.
The news reel is now a news wheel, and we have it right here in the studio as a prop for those who do have the chance to just sit around drinking a cup of coffee and watching the colors swirl around on our news wheel.
Okay. If they've had mushrooms, I guess. Is that what you're saying? 9 minutes past 7. No, we've got it here because, we hit politics pretty hard every day. It's politics. How can you get away from it? The Republicans are having a big debate tonight. Yesterday, they had the elections. Today, Ivanka goes on the stand. We're always talking politics. But we've got the news wheel here because there are other things going on in the world that we have information about that we want to share with you. But we kind of leave it to a random choice of spinning the wheel to see what's what. See what we're going to talk about.
True professionalism right here.
Nobody else has this news.
I know.
This is exclusive to the John and Gordy Show.
It is.
Nobody else has it.
Right. We had the weather wheel once on one of our programs, the weather wheel, because, accuracy of weather was questionable. So
spin the wheel of
now
weather.
It's so much better. I can't take off on weather anymore. So we can take off on the news. And the news is really, it basically, politics has hit the fan because of the elections across the country last night. And it looks like the Democrats and abortion is a big winner throughout the country.
Yes. Abortion rights came out on top in the election.
Yeah.
They had a lot of...
But Democrats came out on top as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's going to be this red wave again.
Well, a Kentucky governor holds on to his seat, Democrat. That's good. And you had some information about Pete Buttigieg, right?
Pete Buttigieg, right.
What's he saying?
The big controversy here now is because of the Speaker of the House being so religiously oriented that, he's against gay marriage. He's definitely against it, and you might even see a policy like that whipped up in the House in the not too distant future. And he was, and Pete Buttigieg was asked about it our transportation secretary,
Right.
and who should be actually a presidential candidate at this point.
Well, he was but
anyway,
but I know Pete a little bit. But from my time in South Bend, he was mayor there, and I happen to also know he's a very religious guy, too. So he speaks from the heart on this,
and he
knows what he's talking about. Right. And he had some comments about gay marriage.
He did. He was asked a question about gay marriage. Let's listen to that right now.
So how do you work with a guy who argued that same-sex relations are, quote, the dark harbinger of chaos and sexual anarchy that could doom even the strongest republic?
I'll work with anybody who can help us get good transportation available to the American people. But I don't know, maybe we'll just have him over. If he could see what it's like when I come home from work and Chasten's bringing the kids home from daycare or vice versa, and one of us is getting the mac and cheese ready, and the other one's microwaving those little freezer meatballs that are a great cheat code if you got toddlers and you got to feed them quickly, and they won't take their shoes off, and one of them needs a diaper change. Everything about that is chaos, but nothing about that is dark. That's the love of God is in that house.
There it goes. What an incredible answer off the cuff.
Yeah, that was on the Stephen Colbert show. Right?
So it's just just an amazing answer. And every time I hear his answers, he gets a tough question from somebody in the audience or some right winger. He has the best, most neutral answers I've ever heard.
And he's not afraid to go on Fox News. I've seen him on there quite a number of times.
In fact, he wants to.
Yeah, he
wants to ask.
He's trying to reach out to the reasonable Republicans.
Okay, let's check out the cut from Mike Johnson.
Regardless of what you hear, it is not about benefits, okay? Don't buy into the hype, because when we've challenged domestic partnership ordinances, for example, my case in New Orleans, which is on appeal right now, when we asked them in discovery how many people signed up for the New Orleans domestic partnership ordinance that grants insurance and other health benefits and things to same-sex live-in lovers as it does traditionally married couples, there was only like 12 people who had signed up for this in 5 years. So it's not about benefits. It's about having that lifestyle made legitimate. It's about recognition of the lifestyle. It's about teaching it as the equivalent of marriage, and don't let anybody fool you and tell you otherwise.
Boy, we were all fooled, I guess.
Wow.
Just,
okay.
Remember the domestic partnership?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm glad we're past that. So,
it's just another example of the government, getting involved in personal lives of people and who they should love and who they should not love, they can live with, and if they deserve legal rights as married people,
right?
And
making it normal, normalizing gay marriage. What a horrible thing! Who would imagine, right? But let's normalize the MAGA way of thinking about everything. Let's normalize that. Let's vilify people. Let's vilify groups of people. Let's stop them from protesting because, we don't agree with that. Let's normalize that attitude, the authoritarian, the dictatorial style of the current MAGA Republican Party.
Well, and then Trump goes ahead and rolls out his plan if he gets reelected as president. It's just mind-boggling.
Could you find that cut, Trump? What his agenda is going to be
for his next 4 years if he gets reelected, and it's just more of. He's going to have the military on standby on inauguration day to arrest protesters,
right?
Throw them in jail. They're going to get, clamp down on everything, free speech, everything. Just it's dictatorial. It really is.
Yeah, we can't find it.
Okay, well,
it's okay.
All right. We'll find it eventually, but it's just amazing. Is it time to spin the news wheel again? Do you think?
I think it is.
You think so?
If you want, it's risky.
You want to spin it, or you did it? You did it last time. It's my turn.
I know. Go ahead. Well, you're the professional.
Got the news wheel.
You bought the wheel.
You can only watch the wheel with us if you're on Facebook and YouTube. Otherwise, we will describe it to our radio audience. So round and round it goes. Where it stops, only we know. Space news. Space news and UFOs.
Yeah.
You got anything on
No,
that, John? Okay,
I-
we'll have to do a little research.
Funny, I just forgot to bring in my UFO information. So,
Well, okay, we'll do a little research on space news. We could follow up on something that we talked about last week on space news. I told you about helium-3. Helium-3 is the new thing that all these space people are buzzing about. China apparently.
Does that change people's voices too, or?
I don't know. I don't know if that's part of helium-3.
It might be something different,
It's
more of a solid object.
It's a very rare element.
Okay, there you go.
It's very energetic as far as it can be used for nuclear fusion or nuclear reactors, and it's cleaner, and it's available apparently on the moon dust. Moon rocks and moon dust have it. And so there's a UW professor, I don't have his name right in front of me, but he's all over this. It says that China has been up there mining with robotic space creatures.
On the dark side of the moon.
Right. It's a little science experiment they're doing, but they're bringing back this helium-3, which is in the moon dust. They're bringing it back and then transforming it into pure helium-3.
Yeah.
And this will be a huge energy source in the future. So there's your space news. And we're way behind in this area. We know about it. They're doing all kinds of research about how this is going to be much more energy efficient than anything that we have going right now. Yeah, it's a look into the future. You're gazing on. What is it? You're not even paying attention. What are you looking at?
It says here, is the pickleball made from real pickles? If so, what kind, Dill? It might be the sweet pickles, which no one eats anymore. So you just don't know.
I'm sure somebody in our vast listening audience knows about pickleball. It's all the rage.
And somebody writes, I really don't understand the bashing of old things.
Oh.
So
we're not bashing old things.
Yes, we're saying leave them behind. Yeah.
Oh.
Get with it. Okay. And here's another comment. But these Republicans stand behind Trump, who sleeps with porn stars while married. The true Christian way. And that's pretty much it. I mean, the guy.
Remember Jimmy Swaggart? And then you remember
Tammy
Faye and Jim Baker.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Remember when he got arrested and he was screaming and yelling, and
they were swimming in scandals.
He was
Swagger swimming in scandals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they didn't learn their lesson then. Now they're listening to Trump, who says he's very religious.
Sure. We'll be back.
Program.
I love it.
And just earlier we had like Hawaiian music, which by the way is just perfect for this program. So I'm going to try and find some more Hawaiian.
Why do you think the Hawaiian music is
I don't
perfect?
know.
Do you like it?
Do you feel like that? You know, you really feel like having a little Hawaiian music in the morning, first thing?
Sure.
I think so.
Okay.
I think there's an audience for that.
You're listening to the John and Gordy
why I've
Show.
never
That's
been
John
a
Peterson talking
music
about
director at a
Hawaiian
radio
music.
station.
I'm
Never
Gordy,
been that.
and you are who you
we're
are.
we're just talking off the air here about Trump.
Right.
Now, if he is found guilty and sent off to prison,
Thrown in the slammer.
he's going to be a president
Yep.
in prison. Now,
Well,
hey,
a
that's got
presidential
alliteration, doesn't it?
a candidate for president.
President in prison.
Yes. Okay.
That's pretty cool.
When he's
I coined it.
okay.
I came up with it first.
Okay, mark that. Yeah.
President in prison. That's how we're going to describe it. So
This is not going to happen that way. I
Yeah.
mean, he can't run for president if he's in prison.
now you're thinking that if something like that did happen,
Yeah.
it would be a huge upheaval in the Republican Party to finally, decide, oh, well, we better be serious about the remaining candidates that are going to be debating today.
I think we're going to see, again, there's a debate tonight. Nikki Haley is there, Chris Christie, Vivek
You're really gonna go through
Ramaswamy.
this? Okay.
There's 5 candidates,
All right.
Tim Scott and Ron DeSanctimonious in his high heel boots. He'll be there as well.
White
but
boots.
Nikki Haley is rising in the polls. She
Kind
is
of.
rising. She's done well in the first couple of debates. I expect tonight's debate she will continue to do well, and and I think she's going to do very well. The more that Trump gets in hot water on these trials, and the more this goes on, there are going to be more moderate Republicans, especially Republican suburban women. They're going to rally around Nikki Haley. She has a reasonable stand in their eyes on abortion. She's not afraid to take on Trump or any of the other candidates, and I think she's going to continue to rise in the polls.
I think so, too. But
Chris Christie, I don't know. He's not afraid of Trump either, and he tells it like it is. Vivek Ramaswamy is just running for vice president, I think, and Tim Scott, same thing.
Christie's like a bull in a
DeSantis,
china shop. I just love the way he just tears into the MAGA crowd.
Yeah.
They boo him. They hate
He
him.
loves
and he
that.
loves it. He just feeds on that. And that is kind of cool. But here's a scenario that I'm thinking.
Okay.
That if Trump does go to prison, and he probably will, and he'll probably be they'll add years to it because he'll be found guilty on other charges. But if that happens and they have to resort to another candidate, at that point, it would also maybe be of interest to the Democrats who might want to put in their own new candidate for president
Oh, sure.
and replace Biden, who may be more receptive to being replaced at this point. And I don't want to replace him, but if there is a movement afoot, and I think there is, to put somebody younger in, more energetic, and somebody who has, some depth. And by the way, that would be Pete Buttigieg, who I think is he should have been a serious candidate before.
He was doing very well in the last debates and all the previous election cycle. He did very well, but he was also the first one to recognize that he was not going to be going beyond a certain point. He was the first one to recuse himself or take himself out of the election cycle.
But you can see that door could open up.
It could.
If there's enough people on the right side, the left could also try and do something like that. Now, this is ageism. I mean, just because, Biden's gait is a little slow. This guy has a presidential schedule, as I mentioned yesterday. He's very, very busy. He's got speeches to write, to give. He's moving all over the country to different countries.
They want him out there talking about his programs and the success that he's had in adding 11 million new jobs in his time in office.
An incredible record.
The infrastructure, the plans that he's put in place, the capping of prescription drug prices. He's done a lot of great things, and he needs to talk about them more, and they want to get him out there more. But all the Democrats get so nervous whenever a new poll comes out, like the one the other day about the 5 swing states, and he's losing to Trump in 4 of those 5 swing states, Wisconsin being the exception. So immediately, all the pundits on the Democratic side,
they panic.
They start panicking. So, we got to find another candidate.
They're not very supportive.
Very reactionary to the numbers. And it's so early yet, but you're right. I mean, things do change, and we got to have somebody standing by just in case.
I mean, Biden can easily bow out gracefully by saying, I really am finding myself.
But don't you think he would throw his support to Kamala Harris? I mean, his vice president, loyal vice president.
I don't think she has the kind of answers that Buttigieg gives.
No,
I mean, he knows. He has a thorough understanding.
And then there's Gavin Newsom waiting in the wings in California.
Right.
He's making foreign trips. He's doing, he's poised to jump in.
I know, and they're thinking that he's got this backdoor.
He's very good,
basically.
He's very good.
Be there just in case, and he tried to have a debate with DeSantis,
right?
And
DeSantis.
So he's trying
didn't do it
to get through the back door on this thing, and it's possible that somewhere along the way this might change.
And then we've never even talked. We haven't brought up Robert Kennedy Jr. in this. He's running as an independent now, but he gets some poll numbers from both sides, and it's interesting that could affect everything. Going in if
he's zany. It's almost embarrassing to admit that during Air America's time on Earth, I used to listen to him, and he made all the sense in the world. He was an advocate for the environment. But boy, he still is
environmental lawyer.
But still, his other comments are just inexcusable.
Well, his anti-vax stand,
just everything,
anti-vaccination stand is what, and then he's backtracked on that a lot.
But he can't. I mean, he's stepped out on that one, and
even his own family won't have anything to do with it.
His wife is very liberal.
Is she?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, she was on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Was she?
Yeah.
Which character did she play herself, or what do you mean? She was an actress?
She was the main character's wife.
Wait a minute. Okay, I'm thinking Curb Your Enthusiasm, the main character's wife. Oh, I know who you're talking about. So Larry David's Cheryl.
I can't remember her last name, but
Cheryl.
Larry David's wife on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And she is very liberal, but and she's kind of
great
apologizing
great actress
for some of the things her husband is saying.
Yes.
And she's taken aback. She's actually kind of removed herself from the discussion, just to keep things together at home, I guess.
Okay.
But it can be a real problem. But I think the opening might be there in case Trump gets locked up.
Well, we'll see what happens. 7:28 now, cloudy and rainy today, highs in the upper 40s. We're going to get a news update here, weather and sports. What's happening in the sports world? It's all straight ahead.
Right
Give
here
us
on
a call.
Mad Radio, WMDX 92.7.
We'll be back.
It's the John and Gordy Show.
John and Gordy in the morning.
As we were saying,
Let the sun shine.
it's the John and Gordy Show.
John and Gordy, oh, John and Gordy, John and Gordy, oh, John and Gordy, John and Gordy.
We're figuring out the news wheel.
Thanks for reminding us we're on the air. Sam.
Mad Radio WMDX 92.7. It's it's high-tech stuff. This high-tech wheel that we put together here.
Those of you that are
Truly
watching on
amazing.
Facebook or YouTube can see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Others of you in the radio audience, we've got this big wheel behind us.
Right.
We spin it once in a while to see what the heck we
It's
should
like
talk
the
about.
NBC Peacock.
Yeah, it's very colorful.
It is.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Should we spin the wheel right now? Is that what you're saying?
Let's try it. Let's
All
see
right,
what
let's-
happens.
you want to spin
it hard.
All right, I'll spin it. There we go. Round and round it goes. 7:35, cloudy, 45
Because
degrees.
this is radio, we're working on that
Look,
sound.
it landed on marijuana.
Ah, cool.
Oh, boy. Do you have a marijuana story?
I do not, but
I do.
I have a feeling you do.
I got it right here.
So
Boy,
go
oh, boy.
ahead.
This is not good news, John, for marijuana smokers. Oh, boy. The American Heart Association scientific sessions in Philadelphia came out with a new report, and this is backed up by the National Institute on Drug Abuse.
Of course.
Okay.
Very serious.
Guess what? Older adults who don't smoke tobacco but do smoke marijuana are at higher risk of both heart attack and stroke, while people who use marijuana daily are 34% more likely to develop heart failure, according to two new studies, again, by the American Heart Association and the National Institute of Drug Abuse. And they're recommending advising people refrain from smoking or vaping any marijuana substance, including cannabis products, because of potential harm to the heart, lungs, and blood vessels. Now, get this. Latest research about cannabis use indicates that smoking and inhaling cannabis increases concentrations of carbon monoxide, tar, and it's similar to the effects of inhaling a tobacco cigarette, both that are related, of course, to heart and muscle disease.
Well, you're
chest
inhaling
pain.
smoke.
Exactly.
So-
Exactly. Put down that bong right now and listen to me. Marijuana use, now this is really something for you, for older users
Yes.
like you
Look
and
at
me, and
Let's
we're
look at-
lighting up a joint and passing it around.
Sure.
Along with the hookah and got the dark, what's the black light going with our black light posters.
Absolutely. With
Beads
Hendrix in
hanging
the
around.
background. Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix playing.
Or Pink Floyd's
Oh,
Dark Side
boy.
of the Moon.
A 2020 study found the numbers of American seniors over the age of 65 who now smoke marijuana or use edibles increased twofold between 2015 and 2018. A 2023 study found out that binge drinking and marijuana uses over the 65 age crowd rose by 450%. This is because of all the legalization efforts and all the decriminalization efforts.
So
nearly 3 of every 10 marijuana users develop a dependence on weed, and that's the problem. It can cause food cravings, of course, irritability, restlessness, mood and sleep difficulties.
God.
After quitting. That's if you
goodness.
quit, then all those things can happen.
Oh, whoa, ooh.
I
The
take it you're not impressed with
the
these studies.
21st version of Reefer Madness.
Yeah,
as,
what do we
as
have?
we listen to more of this.
Yeah. Well, boy, I know.
Remember
Marijuana
the,
news.
Remember the days going to your neighbor and just asking
What is
for
it?
a little pot?
Yeah.
It's me, Dave. Open up, man. I got the stuff.
Who is it?
It's me, Dave, man. Open up. I got the stuff.
Who?
It's Dave, man. Open up. I think the cops saw me come in here.
Who is it?
It's Dave, man. Will you open up? I got the stuff with me.
Who?
Dave, man. Open up.
Dave?
Yeah, Dave. Come on, man. Open up. I think the cops saw
Dave's
me.
not here.
No, man. I'm Dave, man. Hey, come on, man.
Who is it?
It's Dave, man. Will you open up? I got the stuff with
Who?
me. Dave, man. Open up.
Dave?
Yeah, Dave.
Dave's not here.
the hell? No, man, I am Dave, man. Will you, come on, open up the door, will you? I got the stuff with me. I think the cops saw me.
Who is it?
What the hell is it? Come, man, open up the door. It's Dave.
Who?
Dave, D-A-V-E. Will you open up the goddamn door?
And
that was a common occurrence, and the bit never ends, by the way.
It just goes on and on.
It's 2 albums long.
Cheech and Chong, Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong. And that was their first album. Dave's Not Here.
It's kind of different now,
Classic.
where it's legal. You're thinking,
Right.
it's an old bit that still holds up after all this time.
You can
right?
order it on the internet now. You can, it's crazy.
And you can smoke pot that doesn't make you sleepy.
Yeah, well,
Remember that?
they have all kinds of different
They do.
varieties and intensities and all of that. Now that it's legal, it's legal all around us. In
But
Wisconsin.
it's very
legal
dangerous.
in Illinois.
It's dangerous. You got to watch out.
It's legal in Illinois, legal in Iowa, medicinal use, I believe, Minnesota, Michigan. We're surrounded. Wisconsin's in an island, surrounded by legalized marijuana.
Because
it's
we
somewhat
want,
legal
we
in
want to lock
Madison.
more people up, and we want to make them felons.
Not only that, we come back to the tax money that we're losing every year, about $10 million in marijuana tax money.
Right.
Going
A
to
lot
the
of
other
states use that marijuana tax to fund schools.
Yeah, education.
So,
that kind of thing.
What the heck? This is a very backward state. A lot of people are used to this. This backwardness has been normalized in Wisconsin since Scott Walker was governor.
Well,
it's just normal. This is the way it is. We're going to wait. PFAS, it causes cancer no matter what level it's at. But we're going to wait until the federal government comes up with a standard. Then we'll look at that. And then, people can keep drinking it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the PFAS and cancer. Keep drinking it. We have to decide the right level. All right. So just don't worry about it. The Republicans don't care if we die or get cancer or suffer from this.
Well, and again, back to the marijuana debate.
Yeah, marijuana.
They brought it up to the legislature, and the Republicans don't want to do it.
Here's the flaw in the plan. They say, well, if you smoke it, this, that, and the other thing, right? Well, yeah, you're inhaling smoke. But at the same time, they've included eating marijuana. And
edibles.
How is that serious? And what does that do? To your lungs, I just don't.
It's a little questionable.
There's something about this report that I'm turning Meg on this thing. Forget science. Forget medical expertise.
Okay.
I'm just
really.
Yeah.
Dave's not here.
But people don't really, live and breathe doing marijuana all the time. It's ridiculous,
Okay.
Hey, Foggy Geezer.
What?
IPA.
Oh, is that watching
a truck go by? I just like
they
the
got
title.
the window right here.
Foggy Geezer.
John's like,
hazy
squirrel,
IPA.
shiny object.
Yeah, but I think they
Foggy
have a squirrel
geezer.
in the back of the truck.
Do they? The rain come down now.
Is it?
Rainy all day long today, and it's going to be drizzly and miserable. Yeah, get out and enjoy your Wednesday.
Thanks.
Okay?
Yeah.
48 for a high today. Right now it's 45. Oh, I know what you're saying, though. I mean, these studies come out all the time. I mean, there's a study every day about everything.
If you're older and you smoke pot, you're going to be crankier. Or you're not going to sleep as much.
Maybe you should try a different kind.
No, those are all things that happen with age.
Yeah, that's right.
So wow.
Yeah, get used to it.
What late breaking news that is, So
yeah.
And this is that ageism thing again where, people don't understand, when people get older, there's certain things that go along with it. And it's part of the aging process. And because people, a lot of people are still living longer. Of course, in the U.S., that has gone down.
Yeah, it has.
Life expectancy has gone down in this industrialized country while it's going up every place else. But still, those who are living longer, they're healthy. They're good. It's just that they slow down. Their joints hurt. They don't walk as fast.
Arthritis.
It's all fine.
Yeah.
It's all fine. Just go with it.
You got to try and stay in shape as much as you can. You got to stay active. You can't just sit around all day and watch TV or, just
look like us. You know, you don't want to do that.
Okay.
So.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, by the way, we have our, this is one thing that, if you're watching.
What?
We have our
Oh, we got the plaid going again today.
Plaid
It's
shirts?
flannel shirt
Day.
time. All week long, we're wearing
Flannel
shirts
shirt day
and plaid.
every day
Why
this
not?
winter. So
It's approaching. It won't be long.
now I have to figure out where I can get all these flannel shirts, these different colored ones, because people are calling and they're texting us and they're saying, hey, you're wearing the same shirt again. Oh, here.
By the way, we did get a text.
We did get a text on this
because we were talking about Nikki Haley and the debates tonight
and her good answers. And
she's
that's
very
why she's
good
doing
at the
so well
debates.
at the debates.
Yeah.
But Nikki Haley hurts my heart. I want a woman president more than anything else,
This
but
is the
not
text.
her.
Yeah.
I think she's ready for vice president to Trump. She's so balanced in her criticism and praise of him. So it's hard to imagine praising Trump at any point.
Yeah.
But okay.
All
right.
I don't know. I think lately she's been a little bit more critical, but probably still in the lane that she could become a vice presidential candidate.
Well, they just go back on everything they say during the campaign.
Yeah. Thank you for your text, by the
meant
way.
that I always loved Trump. I may have criticized him an awful lot, but that was in my best interest. Yeah. Now, in my best interest as vice president, he's the greatest guy in the world.
That's the way it goes. You don't think he's going to go back to Pence and say, hey, why don't you team up with me again? What would Mike Pence
instead
say?
of smoking pot, I guess we got to switch to gummies.
Okay.
And they have those.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got every form of marijuana now.
And somebody else piped in pandemic influence, talking about old age and the life expectancy going down. It did go down after the pandemic, naturally. I mean, there was such a million people.
Now I thought because of the pandemic and because of the MAGA resistance to getting the vaccine, I thought at least that extra vote, that margin of error would be eliminated just through, survival instinct.
Right.
And we would have lost a few of those voters, and then Trump would not have any support whatsoever or ever win an election.
Yeah, I know. You would think that would be the case.
Right.
Didn't you have something else you wanted to share with us?
Something about the Republicans not doing anything like they're not doing in the state about PFAS or anything else or marijuana. Let's go to Marjorie Taylor Greene and her thoughts on this. This is a gift, by the way, to the Democrats.
Republican voters across the country are sick and tired of Republicans because they never do anything. Republicans go out on the campaign trail and go on TV and do their 5-minute hearing videos and post up on social media and say all this garbage. I feel like many of the American people that think that Republicans in Congress completely fail them. I feel the same way, and I'm a Republican member of Congress.
And you're also one of those people saying nothing. Basically,
who was that? Was that Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. That's so amazing. Okay, well, we thank you for the text.
Is her name going to shorten any time soon?
What?
Divorced, right? Or not?
I don't know.
Separated.
I don't keep track of them.
Boyfriends in movie theater. Or
that's different.
I know.
Somebody
they all
else.
do the same thing.
Oh, okay. We appreciate your text. You can text us, too. If you get on the Civic Media app, you can shoot us a text or an email right away.
By the way, Bolbert is down in the polls as well.
I know, way down.
Yeah.
Republicans are like stepping away from her really fast.
No, really?
Yes, they're like, whoa, boy. Here we go. More trouble. It's 7:48 and cloudy and rainy today.
Kind of a weird thing here. This is
What?
a headline in the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Does Sheboygan have the smallest bar in Wisconsin?
Does it?
And we had
Wow.
so many bars in Wisconsin. I'm from Milwaukee, and every block,
You ought
every
to know.
corner had a bar.
Oh, sure.
And it was cool. I mean, for some reason they could stay in business. Everybody went to the bar on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they do have it. It's called the Itty Bitty Bar, previously Denny's Bar.
Okay.
It's roughly 900 square foot bar.
That's pretty.
That is really small.
I think there's a smaller bar in Wisconsin Dells actually that has that claim.
Really?
Yeah.
22-person occupancy, leather chairs, black tables, just enough room to move around.
Yeah. Stay with us. We'll be back after this brief timeout.
We'll be right back to the action right after this message.
Radio, WMDX 92.7.
You know,
it's a frequency, Kenneth. 1580 AM. We're on the AM dial too, John. You know that? And we're all over Facebook and YouTube.
I've got to check out the AM.
The AM is actually
really?
a pretty strong signal.
It is, okay.
It is, yeah. During the daytime, anyway.
Is it stereo? AM stereo? Or digital AM?
Stereo. No, I don't think they do AM stereo. That was a brief fad. It lasted about 2 years. No, they wanted everybody to go out and buy new AM stereo radios, and that failed miserably.
No, you don't have to go out and buy them.
30 years ago.
Through, aging and getting a new radio, then you get a radio that has AM stereo.
What are you talking about?
And now, and the worst thing of all, and this is what I hate about, this lack of technology.
What?
There's a resistance to it, is that HD radio is a replacement for FM and AM. So what it's crystal clear.
Okay.
It's digital.
Yeah.
It's the way it should be, but they don't put it, or maybe they are now, but they didn't put it in all the new vehicle radios. Okay. And so you're sitting there like, with a 2017, 2018 vehicle, and it doesn't have HD radio.
Can you really tell a difference?
Radio. Oh my. Yes.
Do you have it?
Yes, you can tell a big difference.
Do you have it in your car?
No.
Okay.
And that's what makes me angry.
Okay.
No, I had it. In
a previous vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, I have it. You can get a new radio for your car and put it in and replace the bad old radio that you had. And that's what I have. And it has HD radio. And it just goes, it replaces it. And it's just so, there's such a difference because normal radio is high compression.
Okay.
And it kind of muddies the great classic songs of the past in our voices.
Yeah.
But when you go to HD, high definition, it is crystal clear.
Remember when they had quadraphonic stereos?
Yeah.
Came out for a while.
It's great stuff.
4 speakers.
And now
you
it's
put
Dolby.
them on.
Dolby. Now it's Dolby.
Yeah.
Surround.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Things have improved over the years.
It's better. Yeah.
Is it?
The audio is much better.
It is.
Although I have a 7-month-old puppy now that,
What's that got to do with
barks
and
just goes crazy when we're watching movies on my great sound system that I have.
Because the dog's freaked out. It doesn't know where all this noise is coming from.
It is freaked out. It watches TV, and then the sound comes on, and it's the best sound possible. It's Dolby Surround. And
sad.
8 speakers.
That puppy is going to be all messed up now.
Freaked out. It's freaked out.
Okay. Well,
so
today,
that's how I relate my puppy into this story. Okay.
What story? The story of HD radio?
HD radio.
Okay.
Yeah, lack of technology. Now, we've seen what happened with DVDs, right? You could make your own, record your own DVDs, but then when Blu-ray came out, Sony decided, we're not going to let people record too much on Blu-rays.
Why would we do
so
that?
Then everybody abandoned the solid way of doing things, and as recording their own stuff, their own family videos, or maybe even a movie, saving a backup copy of their movies. And they can't do that. No one can do anything anymore. I might as well just
pack it in, pal. You're done. Technology world, Johnny's Tech Corner. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, we could have gotten to Johnny's Tech Corner.
Why don't you spin the wheel? Let's see if we can land on something that I have a story about. Why don't you spin it again? Because now you're on a blank space. Spin it again. Give it a good. All right. Look, it landed on sports news.
Unbelievable.
I just happen to have it right here. I've got a sports story right from our backyard.
Searching the globe for unusual and dangerous events in the spectrum of human competition. It's the big ball of sports. And here is your host and sports archivist,
Mr. Peterson.
Thank you very much.
Actually, I have the story, but you can take credit for it too, John. This comes right from our backyard, a beautiful Sun Prairie. Remember, we used to work out in Sun Prairie, out in the cornfield there at that radio station, way out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
In Sun Prairie. Now it's all surrounded by shiny new buildings.
I think it's an insurance company now.
I think so. The old building is still there. They obviously refurbished it, and because when we were there, it was a dump. Don't you think?
Well, it was a radio station, of course.
But it was falling apart from the inside out. I'm sure there was hanging asbestos coming off the walls and everything. And downstairs, there were mice and snakes. Other than that, it was a great place. Sports news. This winter, get this, John. This is crazy, but great. The city of Sun Prairie is going to dip its toes into the prospect of professional athletics with the Sun Prairie Killer Bees. Yeah, it's the elite hockey team.
Oh.
It's a hockey team.
It's about time we use the Killer Bees.
The Killer
for something
Bees.
positive.
Oh, I wish I could show you the logo. We'll have to find the logo and see if we can post it later because it's actually a really cool logo.
It is.
Yeah. The Killer Bees, they're one of 16 teams that's going to debut in the inaugural season of the Union Hockey League. This is a league that's all over the northeastern United States with teams in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and now Sun Prairie is going to sponsor a team in the state of Wisconsin.
Where are they going to play?
Well, I think they're going to play at an ice arena, probably. That's my guess. The league, I don't know. I don't know if they built the stadium. Maybe they already have. I think they probably have a place to play. But their roster, they're going to keep it pretty local. Their players are going to come from about a 50-mile radius around Sun Prairie.
Yeah.
There are plenty of hockey players in Wisconsin. There are all kinds of smaller
I'm sure there is.
teams and leagues. They have plenty of athletes who have played junior, college, or minor league hockey. And so they expect they're going to have a roster of 28 players, 25 skaters, and 3 goalies. I don't know. I don't understand that sense. Not at the same time. They're not out on the ice at the same time. You can't get anything into the net.
You can go to the other one.
They're not changing the rules.
All right.
I can't believe it. Okay. Oh, boy. Anyway. They're going to showcase hockey.
Maybe you're talking about
such
the
a great
roster.
idea.
You're talking about the roster. They probably have 3 goalies on their roster.
Never mind.
Not on the ice.
They're not on the ice at the same time. 28 players. Okay. Oh, man. Sorry. I just...
You can see that
how much time do we have
the
left?
sports section on our wheel is not going to be used very often.
I guess not. You know, it used to be a lot. Oh, we're all out of time. But it used to be a lot more into sports, Packers, Brewers. What happened?
What happened?
Okay, yeah.
Well, I couldn't play anymore.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, that wraps things up for this Wednesday. Thank you for joining us. John and Gordy Show. Appreciate you listening.
WMDX.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Please join us in song.
Let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.